2/3 of us anyway. Myself, Ryan Adams Jr. with Mike Priebozzi. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Just say hi.
Hi.
That's Mike Priebozzi. We've got Meadowlands action tonight. Big carryovers late in the card. 21,811 and change in the late pick 5, which is the final 5 races on the program, and 38,390 and change in the late pick 4, which is the final 4 races at the Meadowlands for tonight. So we definitely got to make sure we give you these tickets and talk about these races. Try to get you some extra money before you go to bed tonight. You might be in bed like me and you already played those tickets, so we'll see how these things play out, but I'm kind of liking these sequences a little bit here, Mike. A lot of things make sense here, and I think the pick 5 is really the bet because it is wide open early on in this sequence, and we're just going to jump right into it, get you some tickets, and hopefully we can get you to cash those tickets. So it starts in race number 9, late pick 5, 20-cent minimum bet, and it starts with a non-winners of 7,500 last 5 trot. Also eligible a bunch of other conditions, but that's the main condition here. Field of 10. You got a bunch of full fields, by the way. Mike, start us off. What do you like?
Right, full fields, nice races, tough. I think spots too because you don't have very many chalks that I think you can necessarily lean on. I don't have any keys in the sequence, but in any case, it starts in race 9, hours at 7,500. Like you said, I'm 5 deep to start. I felt like this was a tough race. The 3 I'll start with, Peace Wave Hanover. This horse likes this racetrack. Has a 54-3 mark here last year, and comes out of 25 claimers at Pocono, and really did have the best trips there. So now you get Scott Zero on the drive, come back to a track that he likes, an inside post. You're going to get a price. I think that one's a definite use. The 5, Masa Dida Lady, raced really well last time coming to the Meadowlands. Got Dexter Dunn, keeps Dexter Dunn here. Won by, in a 54-mile kick, 28-3. I think that one's a definite use right back. Probably takes a lot of money here, but I think it's going to take some beating. The 6, Southwind Frost. Again, this is a big track horse. Used to race at Woodbine last year. It's a little quirky. And, that mile Pocono last time looks like he was, just in a dogfight the entire way around the racetrack. Got beat at nose. So I used that one getting back to the big track. And the 7, to OG, another one that likes it here. This horse is better from off the pace, I feel like, and is better on the bigger track and has 2 efforts on the lead the last 2 times. So we'll try to see this horse from off the pace at a price. And then the 9, Boy Meets Girl. 3rd time back, 2 half-decent races at Philly, numbers of 7,000. Won 4 times last year, 29 races, lifetime made almost 400,000. So has a little bit of a class edge. I'm those 5, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9.
We're pretty similar here. But before I start my ticket, I do got to give a shout out to my driver Wednesday night, Nick Clegg, watching right now.
Yeah.
Great drive.
Good job, Nick.
Yeah, great drive on my Philly Wednesday night at Northfield. Make
Mine
sure
too.
What's that?
Mine too.
Yeah, she was solid, and you drove her perfect. So thank you. Make sure you share the video too, by the way. But 6 deep here in this pick 5 to start it out. The 1, Cartier Zet. I like to drive this week. Got shuffled last week. Had no room late. This horse likes to win, and I think he fits here very well in a field that's kind of just so-so over the last few weeks. So inside post, I'll give him a slight edge here at a big price. I'm loving the price. That's why I'm going to use him. Been on shipping from Pocono out of the $25,000 claimers. Those are actually pretty tough horses in that race. So I think it's a slight class drop here. And, he's another one. He's going to need a trip, obviously, but the move to the big track, I kind of like that here. The 4, Carrick with Timmy Tetrick, very obvious in the spot. He's another one, though, that he needs a trip in order to be there. So just iffy on him. The 5, La Sedita Lady, can go any way on the lead, off the pace. Terry Morgan trained. Second time Dexter Dunn tonight off of that win last time. Very big mile in 154 flat. She's probably the most obvious in the race and likely favorite here. The 6 Southwind Frost, Andy and Julie Miller. You know this team. They're very, very good. They win a lot of races. Second time back off the short month-long layoff. I think needs to be used after a front end try last time. You know, we know exactly what this horse is going to do, what it does all. Todd McCarthy jumps on the first time, and he actually had a good opening couple of weeks since moving to the U.S. This horse fits well, has early speed, has been close the last 2 starts, and can come from off the pace as well, but I think likes to be up close a little bit better. And we know this horse likes a big M, so I'm 6 deep there. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to start it off. Moving on to race number 10, which starts the late pick 4, 50-cent minimum. There's going to be, I don't know what the guarantees are on these, probably 100,000 a piece.
Yeah, I don't think they're even offering guarantees, to be honest, Rod. I mean, you know, they're going to be huge. Both pools, I think, will be quite large.
Yeah, I'll guarantee them at 75. How about that?
Well, the pick 4 is 38,000 to start with, so I would imagine it could be 175.
Yeah, it really should be, to be honest with you. But leg number 2 of the pick 5 starts leg number 1 of the pick 4, and it's a kindergarten classic leg here for 2-year-old pacing geldings. You got a field of 9, and I'll start this one off. I thought this was another wide open race. A lot of different horses coming from different places could get there in this race. Start with the 1, Captain Sleaze, shipping in from Pocono, the Meadows, racing in PA Sire Stakes. Makes sense, gets the rail, has shown early speed in the past, and I think should be able to get a 2-hole trip here behind some other speed horses if he goes quick enough early. I expect him to be up close, and he's really the setup horse at a good price. The 2, Forefather, Scott Zeron. This horse is wicked fast, really, really fast, but he's got gait issues. He makes breaks. So that's the only thing with him. He's hard to trust, but I think he's probably the fastest horse in this race. The 3, High Baller. First time Tim Tetrick off of 4 straight qualifiers for Tony Alagna. Tony usually sends these things out ready. He's not going to send them to the Meadowlands if they're not ready to go. So I think you got to use him. The 8, Summa Cum Laude. I don't know how you say it. This is Burke. Draws outside again, which is the only downfall here. But this horse has made 44,000 in 7 starts. Makes a ton of this field. Just pure raw speed, I think, is enough for this horse. And then the 9, Always a Mickey. Made a break in that PA Sire Championship, which was unfortunate because he was probably going to win that race, or be second at least, before that break. But we know this horse is fast enough. Has made 111,000 this year. You can't not have this one on the ticket. So 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9 for me.
Agree on 3 of those. They're the only 3 I'm going to use. I don't mind the 1, Captain Sleaze. This horse racing a constellation of the PA Sire Stakes, but it really hasn't won yet. I like the post. I like Marcus getting back on. The sort of issues. The 3's a first timer. You know, there's a lot of horses that are hard to trust in here. So I use the 1, use the 8, Summa Cum Laude. You probably never graduate that, Rod, but this horse was in that race. But
I would have, but
yeah, you would have.
I know I would have.
Outside post the last couple with Pocono and the Meadows. Prior to that, though, at that race at the Meadowlands back on July 31st, 26 and 2 and a 51 and 4 mile. This horse just might like the big track, and you get Burke, you get David Miller. There's nothing wrong with this one, and then you have to use the 9, Always a Mickey. Just ran last time in the final. Was 2 to 1 in that race, though, and Dexter Sticks here is probably the speediest one, but again, can you trust him? I don't know. So outside post is an issue also. This is not an easy race. I'm 189.
Like
also, just real quick, if you played the pick 5
Bang, bang. There we go. There's a first big winner of the night. Hopefully I can continue that into this final leg of the early pick 5 at the Meadowlands, because I'm live.
What are you live to?
2, 6, and 8. Which the 2 and the 8 are not paying anything, so it doesn't matter.
Well, 6 is getting us a trip already, so we'll see.
Oh, I didn't even know they were going. But, race number 11 is leg number 3 of the pick 5, leg number 2 of the pick 4. Field of 10 here. Mike, start us off. What do you like and why?
Really another difficult race. I'll start with the one, Sweet Shirley May. Racing that PA Sire Stakes Championship. It was a big price, 16 to 1, but got a decent trip and ended up rallying for second. Prior to that, was racing well in, a couple stakes races, 27 and 4, sub 28 every time. There's nothing wrong with that. Just have to navigate the rail here, and I think that one's a definite use. The 3 50-cent piece, you get Marcus Mielander here, another one that's been racing in PA Sire Stakes, and had a tough post in the final, really no chance there. Prior to that, though, was racing well. Went 53 and 1, 52 and 2 at the Meadows. Those are fast times and fast races, so I'll use that one. Connections are very sharp there. The 4 Ditme Hanover, third in that PA Sire Stakes final, has raced well here in the past. Likes the big track. Went 55 and 1 at Woodbine last year at 2. You can use that one. And then the 9 HL Rivedon. Those 2 races for numbers of 6 at the Meadowlands back in July and August there. Raced well times last year and made 144,000. So some back class. They thought enough to try this one in a handle maturity. Of course, it was last in there, but there's no chimpanzees in this race. So 1, 3, 4, 9.
Kind of similar in that race. I'm 4 deep. Starting with the 1 Sweet Shirley May. Like you already mentioned, this horse is very obvious from the rail. For the Chicheri and Andy Miller connection, this horse likes to be off the pace a little bit, get a trip, and come late. Has a very, very good late kick, so I think is a must play here. The 4 Ditme Hanover has been close, not really getting the move that this horse needs to kind of get over that hump. 1 for 10 on the season, so maybe just that move back into this nominators of 4 out of that PA Sire Championship against Crucial, who's just a monster. Maybe that's the move here. The 6 Kings County on any ticket, in my opinion. The 7 Thunder adds trotting hobbles again. Another one that has some gait issues, but I think the addition of the trotting hobbles makes sense here and should be close. Has a ton of speed. Is going to be bet off the board just because of the connections, Dexter Dunn, Tony Alagna. But you have to have this horse. So I'm 1, 4, 6, 7 there. Race number 12. The only short field on the night, in this sequence anyway. This is a 2-year-old filly Pacers in the kindergarten. Field of 7. And I'm using almost half of them here. I'll start with the 1 Heart of Mine. Inside post. Shipping in from Yawn, raced very well there. Got beat by a really nice filly up there. And, makes sense. Dropping out of the Sire Stakes final. Finished second in there. And Scotty Zeron jumps on to drive. He had been driving this filly before the last 2 starts. So, I like the spot. It's a little bit easier, in my opinion, than what she's been facing in those New York Sire Stakes races. And the inside post, she's going to be up close the whole way. The 4 Think of Galaxies. This is McDermott, McDonald. These guys team up for price shots all the time. I love the connections. I think this is a good spot. Another one just coming out of that Sire Stakes final. Didn't do very well. She does have speed, but I don't really think she's going to fire early in here. I think she's going to look for a trip and try to come late. Use that late kick that she showed earlier on in the season. And then the 6, Fire Start Hanover. Dexter Dunn for Nifty Norman. Has been in really good form recently and moves to the big track. I don't think Dexter's going to fire hard and just go right to the lead and try to wire him. That's not really this horse's style. So expect her to leave and probably grab up a little bit and look to get covered up. So I'm going to use 3 there, 1, 4, and 6. Mike, what do you got?
I agree on 2 of them. I like the one heart of mine off that Racing Wild Saratoga. Did get a check on the big track. Also, it's made 120,000. Draws well here, and you get a couple like numbers of 2 types in here, so definitely has a class edge. The 6 Firestart Hanover, agree with that one also. This horse ran into Caviar Audrey at Pocono in one of those races. Prior to that, won the PA Consolation at Pocono. Another one that should be up close, I would think, and probably ends up in the pocket here. Then the 7 off the record, just improving. 27-4, 27-3, 27-2 the last 3 times. Hasn't won yet. Big track could be the key. The horse is well bred. I'll use that one also. 1-6-7.
Pretty close there. The final leg of both the Pick 4 and the Pick 5 is another kindergarten classic. 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. You got a field of 9 here. Mike, close us off. Do you see anything outside of the favorites?
I actually like those 3, 4, 5, 6 for me. The 4 Crunch Hanover. Tough trip in the Sire Stakes final. Prior to that was racing well, though, in the regular PA Sire Stakes races. Has made 75,000 already. Draws perfect connections here. They're very sharp in these races. We'll use that one. The 5 Commanding Officer. Those are fast races at Lexington. You got 51 and 2. Of course, didn't take much money there, but kept running into perfect sting. Gets a much better post here. I think gets a little bit, maybe not necessarily a drop, but I think has a chance at this level. And then the 6 1-800. You get Tactor, Dexter Dunn. Has been favored all 3 starts. Did lose at 1-9 2 back. I really am not a fan of that. And then burnt money again. Maybe this horse just needs a couple starts, needs to figure it out. So connections play there. 4, 5, 6.
I'm not quite as deep as you are in this final leg. Just too deep for me, but I do agree on 2 of those 3 horses. The 4 Crunch Hanover, very obvious after getting shuffled in that PA Championship final. Prior to that has been 1, 2, 3 just about every start. Makes a ton of sense here, and hasn't missed a check yet, so you have to have this one on the ticket. And then the 5 Commanding Officer for Tony Alagna. Joe Bongiorno drives, shipping back from Lexington in the Kentucky Sire Stakes. Didn't really have any racing luck out there. Drew outside posts, got shuffled, and then was just too far back last time. Closed very well last time, but they just went a slow first half, and he just couldn't make up any ground there. Fits here. This is a much, much easier class. And I expect these 2 horses to be tons of best. I don't really see anything else getting there in this race. I think the 6 is going to be a little bit over bet just because of the connection. So I'm kind of against that one. But I don't fault anybody for using the horse. One, I can't afford to use the horse. Just looks 3rd best to me in this field. So my ticket for the Pick 5 is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 1, 2, 3, 8, 9 with 1, 4, 6, 7 with 1, 4, 6 with 4, 5. It's $144, and we don't normally give out tickets that big, but this is going to be a very large pool with this carryover money, so it's no holds barred tonight, boys. Mike, what's your ticket for the Pick 5?
3, 5, 6, 7, 9 with 1, 8, 9 with 1, 3, 4, 9 with 1, 6, 7 with 4, 5, 6 is 108. If you play the numbers in the Pick 4, it's $54. We don't often get a chance to really remove the takeout. Very good chance that there'll be very little takeout on these bets with these with this seed money, so you have to play.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think these are must-play tickets here. However you structure your tickets in this Pick 5 and the Pick 4, you can kind of play a little bit with them, but we mentioned earlier, this Pick 5, the first leg of it is wide open. So that's really going to limit what you do late, and especially if you're playing both tickets, it's kind of going to limit what you do in the Pick 4 as well. So if you can vary your tickets a little bit, I would probably do that. But, for me, I'm playing the same numbers in the pick 4, minus the front leg. It's a $60 takeouts. We do have to mention a few other things before we jump off here. First off, on Thursday, Little Brown Jug. That will be the finals of the NAHU handicapping contest. We've got our 5 finalists. They will be getting instructions this weekend after the draw, which actually the draw is Monday, so they will get instructions after the draw Monday when we figure out what races are what. Because they did eliminate all the overnights at Delaware this week outside of the amateur drivers races, which are paid events. So, with that being said, we have to remind you to go to NAHUpicks.com. We've got all kinds of analysis over there. Tomorrow, mandatory payouts, everything at Hawthorne. It's the Night of Champions out there. Make sure you're playing Hawthorne tomorrow night, and I'm pretty sure there's some carryover money somewhere. If it's the high 5, there's something that was carried over. I can't remember exactly, but we'll get to that. It'll be on the website. Joe Mazzone has our Hawthorne analysis for each and every race night. Tomorrow being closing night, make sure you're playing over there. And tomorrow, Running Aces, Meadowlands, Mohawk, Hanover, Hawthorne, all of it on NAHUpicks.com. Check us out every day. We've got something going on every day. The Jug next Thursday. The following
Saturday. You gonna jump on for that for a while? You gonna get on there? What are we doing that day? We gonna jump on that day?
We'll try to do something. It's gonna be tough because of COVID. I'm gonna be there, but I've got horses on the grounds there, so outside of that, it's gonna be tough to do really any just to get something done. But following that, 9 days later, the Running Aces Night of Champions, October 3rd. I will be on site. Mike and Kent are Penning doing all kinds of interviews, talking to drivers, trainers, owners, you name it. They're going to have it, and it's all going to be live right here. That starts at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, October 3rd. So don't miss that. I will be on site at Running Aces. And Ken and Mike will be doing the COVID version of the interviews, so we don't get anybody sick. But outside of that, we will be